When you hear Illinois real estate, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's those big, splashy headlines about city life. But what if the real story, the one that actually matters if you're looking to buy a home, is hiding in the details? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today, the hidden gems of the Prairie State.
I mean, this is the big question, right? It's pretty much the home buyer's dream, a place that ticks all the boxes. And what the data is showing is that for a lot of folks in Illinois, this isn't some fantasy. It's a reality they're finding in communities all over the state.
So here's the classic showdown. On one side, you've got the story the headlines love to tell. Sweeping generalizations, big citywide stats, and a narrative of risk. But then you look at the actual data, and a totally different picture emerges. We're talking quiet suburbs, unique communities with their own strong identity, and a story about finding real value. This is why getting specific is so important.
All right, enough with the theory. Let's get into those specifics. Where are these places that are just crushing it? The ones that are bucking the trends and offering an amazing quality of life. Let's meet some of Illinois' safety superstars.
First on our list are Campton Hills and Western Springs. Now, these two communities consistently pop up at the very top of the safest places list. And the reason why is, well, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, you're seeing that right. We're not just talking about low crime here. We are talking about a violent crime rate that is practically zero. That's a level of safety that is just off the charts. Absolutely extraordinary.
Okay, so that's great for smaller towns. But what about a bigger place? A city with more going on. Can a place like that still be super safe? Well, let's take a look at Naperville.
And the answer is a huge, resounding yes. This isn't a one-time thing either. Naperville consistently proves that you absolutely do not have to trade size and amenities for safety. They've cracked the code.
And trust me, the list of great, safe, family-friendly places keeps on going. You've got Poplar Grove, which is a fantastic spot known for its great schools. Or check out a place like Litchfield, which is really becoming a hot spot for first-time homebuyers because it's so affordable. And they're right there with other awesome communities like Libertyville, Poplar Grove, and Freeport, all offering that perfect mix of a low-stress lifestyle and real value.
So we know which towns are making the grade, but the really important question is, why? What's their secret sauce? Because, real safety these days is about so much more than just a low crime rate. It's about building a community that's resilient and truly prepared.
It really boils down to these four things. You need fast, reliable emergency services, for sure. But you also need neighbors who actually look out for each other. You need solid schools and infrastructure. And here's the big one. You need a community that's looking ahead, planning for future risks instead of just reacting to today's problems.
And proactive planning isn't just some buzzword, it's real stuff. Take Naperville again. They're not just crossing their fingers when a big storm is on the way. They're actively investing in things like flood mitigation projects and advanced siren systems to keep people safe. It's that kind of forward thinking that gives you genuine peace of mind.
Okay, this is all great information, but what do you do with it? How can you use this to your advantage? Well, this next part is all about giving you a practical, hands-on checklist so you can scope out any neighborhood you're thinking about.
So how do you do your own homework? It's pretty straightforward. First, forget the citywide averages. You want to go hyper-local. Pull up the actual crime trends for the specific streets you're looking at for the last 6 months to a year. Next, and this is a big one, do a night drive. Go see what it's like after dark. Is it well lit? What's the vibe? Then, just talk to people. Ask potential neighbors what their day-to-day is like. And finally, always verify the nitty-gritty details, like school district lines, because those things can and do change. So, what's the big takeaway here? It really all boils down to one word: precision. In today's market, the real edge comes from knowing the difference between a scary headline and the actual data for a specific address or a specific block. That's where the truth is.
Which brings us to our last and maybe most interesting question. After you've done all the research, you've crunched the numbers, you've done your night drive, how do you actually make that final decision?
And this is the question I want to leave you with. When it comes right down to it, what do you put more faith in? Is it the hard data, the cold hard facts on a spreadsheet? Or is it your gut feeling, what you see and hear when you're actually there, on the ground? The best answer, of course, is probably a little bit of both. It's finding that perfect balance between your head and your heart. Definitely something to think about.